winding down, and Ohio State and Purdue find themselves atop the conference standings, leaving opponents in their wake. The Buckeyes are looking to capture back-to-back crowns, while the Boilermakers come in search of their first victory in Columbus in 15 years. Last week, Craig Krenzel and his offense silenced their critics, coming through with their best game of the year, while the defense continued their season-long domination. Purdue has been pointing toward this game all year long as they try to avenge last year's last-minute defeat at the hands of the defending champions. Big Ten title hopes on the line next. It is senior day in Columbus, Ohio. 26 seniors will play their final game on their home field, being introduced along with their parents right now. And you saw Jim Tressel, the defending Coach of the Year of the national champions. They've got a shot now to defend that national championship if a few more things fall into place. In Columbus at the Horseshoe, this is our BCS Spotlight game presented by ADT. The 11th ranked Purdue Boilermakers and the 3rd ranked Buckeyes of Ohio State. As you take a look at the BCS standings brought to you by Allstate, you can see that things are starting indeed to fall into place for Ohio State should USC slip up before the season's over. And of course, Oklahoma still alone on top with a big gap there. But the Buckeyes have moved up to the number 3 spot now. That's all they can ask for. Here's the Big Ten standings as of this moment, because Iowa, Wisconsin, and Penn State have all won today in games already played. You see Ohio State, Purdue, and Michigan playing Northwestern at this very moment as well. Those 3 teams atop the standings at 5-1. Welcome to Columbus, everybody. Brad Nessler along with Bob Greasy. Well, partner, we were here a week ago, and we talked about the fact that Ohio State was being overlooked by the national media and that they weren't going to get a chance to defend their national championship. They still may not, but everything had to fall into place. And just like these 3 Buckeyes I've got, they're number 3. They're pretty close.
Well, 5 weeks ago when they lost at Wisconsin, everybody thought, there goes our chances. Last week where they were ranked number 5, and now they're ranked number 3. They're not that far behind USC. There's a lot of football left to be played in the next 4 weeks.
And they played good football last week on offense. Coming in, that was the anemic part of their game, but Craig Krenzel and company played well last week.
He does nothing but win. This is his 25th start. He has never lost here at the Horseshoe. Last week probably had one of his best games of his career, throwing 3 touchdown passes and a big win against Michigan State. He can play.
Purdue has always had a good offense, dating way back to when you were there and Dawson before you, but this is a Purdue defense that people are overlooking a little bit.
Well, when you think of Purdue and under Joe Tiller, you think offense. Look at the stats. It's the Purdue defense that's leading the way this year. And the guy that's the All-American, if you're writing an All-American ballot, put this guy's name on your list. Stuart Schweigert, career leader in interceptions at Purdue, a 4-year starter. They are an attacking defense. This is going to be a great defensive game today.
A huge game in the Big Ten.
Live now at ESPN.com.
John Saunders, Terry Bowden, and Craig James, our New York studios, out to the game in just a moment. The Ohio State Buckeyes, big game against Purdue because they don't want to look past them to next week and Michigan.
And can you believe we're going to start out talking about Ohio State's offense? Their offense is coming around. They've turned the corner. Craig Krenzel last week had a good game, but Lydell Ross on the ground has given this offense some spark. Look at the last 3 games. Another 100-yard average on the ground, 5.7 per carry, and what that's going to do is open up the play-action pass. Michael Jenkins is going to be a big-time guy for these guys off the running game.
Yeah, Purdue has a better rushing offense than Ohio State, but you know what? It's Ohio State's rush defense, the best in the land, the 2nd best in college football over the last 30 years. That's what's going to stop Purdue.
All right. Now,
back at the Horseshoe, we get set for number 11 Purdue and number 3 Ohio State. Packed house, about 105,000 on hand. And as always, joining us down on the field, all bundled up, is Lynn Swan. Swanee.
Thank you very much, Brad. We all know that in the ball game today, if you want to have a chance to win, you've got to pressure the quarterback, and these teams have people who can bring it. For Purdue, number 15, Sean Phillips, is a destroyer. He is fast, mobile. He leads his team in sacks. He's only a sack and a half away from being the all-time sack leader at Purdue. On the other side, his name is Will Smith. He's not one of the men in black, but he makes that uniform look good. Most offensive think he is an alien presence. As he gets in that backfield, he wreaks havoc on that team. This game is so important. If these two defensive ends do not put pressure on the quarterback, they're going to have time to move the ball down the field deep and anywhere they want to go. Sean Phillips and Will Smith may be the keys to the outcome of this ball game, Brad.
We'll be watching number 15 and number 93. 41 degrees. The wind's more calm than they were a week ago when we were here. Gray skies, they like it that way. They like it scarlet and gray in this place. And there's a guy, as Bob said, who's never lost in this place. Craig Krenzel, perfect at home. 48th meeting in the series history, and 3 of the last 4 have been close. Here is the Purdue defense that Bob talked about. The front 4, Phillips and Terrell, a couple of seniors, and they really get after it. Grover and Nesfield round out the front wall. Kudavides is the inside backer. Johnson and Gardner flank him. And in the secondary, a good group back there, too. Reeves and Schweigert, Pollard and Rogers.
It's a veteran group, 8 seniors in that defensive side of the ball.
There's Stu Schweigert, career leader in interceptions. As Bob mentioned in the open, 17 times he's picked off the opposition. He's been a starter since the 3rd game of his freshman season. 3rd down and 5, Ohio State on the opening drive. Krenzel. Incomplete, intended for Jenkins. Jenkins slipped a little bit on his break, and it's 3 and out for the Buckeyes. That's into the first quarter. No score yet. Purdue trying to change that. Boyd off the right side again, ran into Allen, but I think he got the first down. You see our yellow line, and he crossed it, and it's going to be at the 37-yard line. Boyd coming off a career-high 120-yard game in the win over Iowa last week.
There's the offensive and defensive lines. Right here is number 44. That's the fullback, Goldsberry. A lot of the runs today for the Boilermakers will be behind Goldsberry. He's a big fullback that converted to linebacker. Now they've moved him back to fullback. He's getting a lot done in the absence of the tight end, Jeff Bennett.
He's no elf, but he's from Santa Claus, Indiana. That's where your brother hangs out, Brother Bill.
Yes, sir. He lives there.
Hey, Bob and Brad, Chris Gamble is having a problem with his helmet. He took it off to adjust it.
There's Joe Tiller. What a job he's done at Purdue. In his 7th season, they've gone to 6 straight bowl games. They'll be going to another one. We know that as they come in at 8-2 already. And it might be even a big bowl game. Who knows?
And he says this team is the best team that he's had in those 7 years. And coincidentally, it's the best defense by far that he's had.
Out of the eye, both wide outs to the top of your screen. And they'll try the left side this time. And nothing doing there. Loss of a yard, maybe 2. Kudavides came in from his middle linebacker position to make the stop. Stu Schweigert kind of nursing a bad calf, Swanee.
Oh, that's right. He got an injury there, and you see that left calf, extra padding on it. The blood began to just kind of collect there. He did not practice for most of the week. He practiced on Thursday. He had a good practice, and Joe Tiller said he feels very comfortable with senior out there playing. But on that last run, and we know Schweigert has a lot of speed, of Ross's, he seemed not to have the kind of speed we're accustomed to seeing from him. So it may be bothering him a little more than they've let us know.
And that might get worse as it is a cold day here. Krenzel throws on the run and just threw it away. Closest guy was Jenkins. Kudavides coming in from the linebacker position, forced the throw.
I would think an injury to the lower calf like that on Schweigert has got to affect his speed to some degree. His speed and his quickness.
Yep. Last year, he was banged up. He had more injuries than he wanted to count when we talked to him. And he said, I might have been 60% all last year. Had a lower abdominal problem, a pulled muscle that he just couldn't get healed. So this year, and really until last week, he's been pretty healthy. 3rd down and 11. Krenzel pressure. He got rid of it. That's a lateral. Live ball. Nope, I guess not. They're going to say it's incomplete.
Well, the official at the top of the screen is responsible for those backward side passes, and he's the one that gets the best look at it.
Well, we're going to get a good look because this is going to be a good angle, and I sure thought he threw that behind him.
It's tough to pick up 3rd and 11s. Ohio State throws it from the line. That's going to be a back. Go ahead and let it go. That's a backward pass.
Sure is. That should have been a live ball.
It's close. It went from just near the line, a little backwards, and that's a bad side right there. Sims coming off.
Yeah, 300-pound sophomore left tackle, and he's in obvious pain. The Buckeyes head to the Big House. They'll take on Michigan. Then at 3:30, undefeated top-ranked Oklahoma battles Texas Tech. plus other regional action. Check your local listings for the game in your area, or get ESPN Game Plan and watch the game of your choice. We'll be out on the left coast for the first time in a long time, and we'll see UCLA against Swanee's alma mater, the Trojans of USC.
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
Second down, 4. Ross again. Stopped as he crossed the 20-yard line out to the 21. Got about 2 more. Kudavides and Schweigert come up to help on the stop. Hard line of Purdue trying to take the lead. They've gone 79 yards so far in 7 plays. Second down and 5. Purdue showing blitz. And they will come with it. Lydell Ross. Tough sledding. Everybody came from that side. He actually lost a yard. Nico Kudavides, the middle linebacker, was the guy that helped on the stop along with Schweigert. Those two played a lot of football together. Get the first down, then they might be back in there. 3rd and 5, Purdue thinking about a blitz.
Here they come.
Here they come. Krenzel lost it to the corner to Jenkins.
Broke it up. He had it. He just needed the ball a little quicker.
Jock Reeves knocks it away. And now Ohio State will come out to try to tie it up with their field goal unit.
He had to wait for the ball. Here's a good look at it. Nice move to the inside. Now get the ball to him right now. Look at all the time he's open. He has to wait for it.
I don't know. Reeves might have got him a little early.
Yeah, I think he bumped him a little early too. I'm watching the ball right there. Yeah, that's definitely interference.
So they'll try a field goal. Trying to get Lydell Ross's game going. Maybe he will with this one. Trying to get outside. Reeves won't let him. Drags him down at the 19.
That would have been good against Purdue in years past, but this defense is so quick. They run so well.
Olin Tangi said you don't want to get stuck in there today. She's cold out there.
Yes, sir.
The Buckeyes have a 3rd down. Krenzel has thrown on all 5 3rd down situations so far, and you'd expect another one here on 3rd and 8. Craig gets some pressure, throws, and overshot his intended receiver. And he took a big-time shot after he let go of that ball, and he's down. Remember, 2 weeks ago, he took a hit like that, suffered a concussion, and Scott McMullen had to come in the ball game. Watch Landon Johnson land on Craig Krenzel. Boom. That hurts.
Whenever you go empty, that means you put 5 receivers, 47 right up the gut, unblocked. Whenever you put 5 receivers out, no backs in the backfield, that you're leaving yourself open.
ABC crew, Brad Nessler along with you for Purdue, number 11, and 3rd-ranked Ohio State. So far, Boilermakers by 3. Krenzel, play action, getting some heat in the pocket, and down he goes.
Yeah, Phillips back in the ball game, the first one to put pressure on him, and then Nessfield from the other side, the other end, gets the sack.
So Nessfield and Kudavides are the guys that get to number 16, and they'll have to give it up again.
Number at the top of your screen right here, number 15. He's going to put the initial pressure.
Now here comes the delayed heat from Kudavides, the middle linebacker, who gets the first hand on, and then Nessfield cleans up. Kudavides has been all over the field today so far for Purdue. Number 34, the middle linebacker.
7 punts and 3 field goals. No turnovers.
Here's Ross. And he only got about a yard. Nice job by Pollard and Rogers to come up to make the hit. And Lydell's finding the sledding pretty tough on the ground today. 36 yards. 9 carries. This is an.
He at least played in one of the earliest Super Bowls of the Purdue alumnus.
And Krenzel's going to be sacked. Craig Terrell.
Well, guys, I'm not sure, but Lenny Dawson might have also thrown one to USC's athletic director, Mike Garrett.
I think so. Well, that was still plenty of time for Ohio State to work. But they only have 1 timeout left. Krenzel in trouble again. And this time they will bring him down.
Bob and Brad, you know, we asked both coaches what their scoring zone would be, not just their red zone, and both coaches said
Waning seconds of the 2nd quarter here in Columbus. Buckeyes trying to take the lead. Krenzel slips in the pocket, now throws, and it's incomplete, intended for Jenkins. And he has to avoid the kicking net over there as Antoine Rogers, the other number 12, was right there with him. Clock stop with 37 seconds remaining. They've thrown 7 passes in the direction of Jenkins. He has 2 catches. As night settles in over the horseshoe in Columbus, we welcome you back to Ohio Stadium. 6-6 Buckeyes and the Boilermakers. Welcome back, everybody. Brad Nussler, Bob Greasy, Lynn Swan. Yeah, we got 3-pointers is all we got to show for this, but it's a defensive battle. We knew that was going to happen, but still no big plays and no big turnover.
Yeah, being offensive guys as you and I are, you know, these defensive battles aren't much fun. I mean, nobody scores any points, but the game has been played very well. If you don't score, punt the football. Punting is not a bad thing when you're playing against two very good defenses.
And they have done their job today. As we take a look at the highlights in the first half, some that were highlights, some that could have been. This is Ben Jones' field goal from long range. He had a 45 and a 47-yarder for the 6 points for Purdue. This was a controversial non-call. Jenkins looked like he was interfered with in the corner of the end zone. They had to settle for a field goal. Purdue had an opportunity. Orton and Williams couldn't quite hook up on a deep ball. And so then Mike Nugent came in when it was 6-3, and he hit from 52 yards out. And that is where we are at this point. 6-6 tie ball in the first half. Here's how it looks.
Well, not a lot of yardage. Purdue only 112 yards. Plays are about the same. First downs, not a lot. Third down conversions, nobody's doing very well. Turnovers, no turnovers yet. I think that's a mark of how good they're taking care of the football.
Remember, the biggest part of that 204 was the pass play of 60 yards to Michael Jenkins, but then the Purdue defense held and forced the field goal there. Yeah. Spring is running back for 6 yards. Ross right side again. Not as much this time. Got about one.
Well, the plays that you like at halftime are going to be the plays you're going to come out and run in this first drive in the third series on that special teams play.
Both tight ends in for Ohio State. Big hit at the end of the play as Ross got to the 43. Stu Schweigert came up. Kudavides, the middle linebacker, has been seemingly all over the field today, and he's involved again. Stu Schweigert, one of the guys that's still on the Thorpe watch list as the top defensive back in the country. There's some good ones around, and he's one of them.
We mentioned Schweigert right here. He's up blitzing at the line of scrimmage. Just chasing from the far side and makes the play.
Krenzel from the 48 on first down is in trouble this time, and down he goes. Zolovich comes storming around from his defensive end spot, makes the sack. Be a Rose Bowl type team, but maybe a chance to defend their national championship. But they've got to win this one first, and Michigan next week, and that's a lot of big ifs still to come. Krenzel hit from behind, and somehow that ball didn't come loose. Sean Phillips this time. So the defensive ends for Purdue, that's for Phillips, the kind of plays we're used to seeing from him.
Yeah. He get the sack? Here he is. Against Olivier, he beats him this time. Olivier's had a pretty good day against him.
And as Swanee said earlier, that put Sean just a half sack off the all-time Purdue mark of Roosevelt Colvin's for career.
Check Sam's list. Check that safe. It's on two. Red 80, yo, watch the red. Hey.
State has gotten the best all day of the punting exchange.
Yep. 5 wide out group for Krenzel from the shotgun. He rolls to throw. Look out from behind. He got the pass away, and it's incomplete. Santonio Holmes couldn't hang on to it. Sean Phillips was coming around the corner like the Boilermaker special.
Get up, Craig. Get up. Watch the top of your screen. Number 15 just going to run around. You wouldn't think a defensive end could get there when a quarterback rolls away from him, but he did.
And Craig Krenzel has been knocked around a little bit. Knocked down.
Wow.
Hit. 3 sacks. Still going, though. As Bob said, get up, Craig. He always does. Have the Thrifty Car Rental postgame report with all the scores and highlights. Go ahead, Grease.
I was just going to say, in a situation 3rd and long, you got to be careful. Ohio State is worst in the Big Ten in giving the ball away. They've given away 21 times. Purdue has taken it away 23 times. They're second best taking it away.
3rd down and 8. Purdue's coming with everybody. Krenzel won't have time. Schweigert's got it. Stu Schweigert, the captain of the defense, along with Kudavides, both having big days. You could just see that one coming a mile away.
Well, look at number 9 right here. Come right up the gut. You wouldn't think you'd be able to miss him. See the both line. Yeah, the linebacker comes here and the big guy takes him. Now the little guy is supposed to block Schweigert.
Lydell can't get there in time. Tried. So another punt.
With it.
We told you they had 2 good tight ends. They had both of them in the pattern on that side of the field, and now it's Ross running back the other way, and Lydell Ross gets it down to the 45-yard line. He picked up 7 as we check in with John. One of America's most recognized corporate images, the Spirit of Goodyear's floating overhead, providing our great aerial shots today. The Goodyear blimps have been a familiar sight in the American skyline since 1925. Captain Greg Poppenhouse and the crew, thanks for the great pictures, guys. All day long and all last week. Have a safe trip back to Akron when this one's over. We don't know how long it's going to be before it's over because Purdue's trying to tie this thing up. 13-6, Ohio State, but Purdue a first down at the Buckeyes 11. Orton, pump fake, Statue of Liberty coming around by Boyd. Boyd inside the 5, touchdown.
Great call by Jim Chaney.
We're an extra point away from a tie game. 11-yard touchdown by Boyd. And boys, that silenced the crowd, except those guys. 4:36 remaining. And now an all-important extra point coming up. And remember, the field's a little slipperier, and Ben Jones missed his last field goal. We still couldn't determine whether or not anybody got a hand on it. We think he just kind of missed it to the left. He's got this one, and we're tied at 13. So we were 6-6 at halftime, a scoreless third quarter. Now we've got a touchdown each way. Finally an offensive touchdown, Bob.
Yeah, go ahead. Watch the middle linebacker when the fake is made. Pump fake right there. You see how it got Reynolds stepping all this way? Now watch as he hands it to the back. Now look at the hole right here. You got a huge hole right in here with a blocker that doesn't have anybody to hit before he gets into the end zone. That's just good. That's knowing your offense, and it's having the plays called. Almost didn't get the handoff, but you got to hand it to the offensive coordinator, Jim Chaney, in the press box for knowing the right play to call at the right time. That's organization.
They went 92 yards in 8 plays and got that touchdown. Jim Chaney, the guy that made the call, what would you think his reaction would be? He's standing. He's usually sitting, so he's into the game.
Oh, yeah.
Pacific Light game summary. Orton's thrown it 41 times. Still no touchdowns. Greg Krenzel, efficient, 192, but no touchdowns. Both defenses have played their hearts out today. We've had 16 punts. But 1 turnover is key, obviously, and Purdue putting it on the ground at the 1-yard line. That scooped up by Ohio State for a touchdown. Now they need an offensive score, and they've got 4:36 to work with. Krenzel getting pressure, and he gets sacked, and there's a penalty marker way back in the secondary, about 30 yards away from the play. 53, and he's hit from 52 today. So that's past history and current history. Here comes a blitz again. Krenzel's hit. The ball falls incomplete. Nico Kudavides putting the heat on the quarterback.
Yeah, you got to be careful offensively because the last 2 plays, this desperate defense has blitzed right up the center, and if you knock the ball up in the air like he's doing here, the defense has a better opportunity to catch it than the offense because they see what's happening. They're facing the ball. The receivers are running away from it.
3rd down again. Craig Krenzel today 4 of 9 in this situation.
A little inside, little outside stuff.
1st and 10, Purdue. Down to 1:43. Drop the ball, it's loose. And who's got it? If Ohio State's got it, this one's over. They're still unpiling bodies. All the officials in on the act, trying to push the players back to find out who's on the bottom of the pile. Buckeyes ball. Doesn't look like he's going to now either.
They don't need a lot.
They'll give it to Lydell Ross. The clock will work its way down near a minute. They're already in his range. It'll be Lydell Ross. Now he's going to cover that football up. got to the 25. This would make it a 42-yard kick if they decide to let the rest of this time run down. 4 seconds left in regulation at the Horseshoe in Columbus. Ohio State has sent out Mike Nugent, who's already hit 2 field goals today, including one from 52 yards. The snap will come from Kyle Andrews. The hold by B.J. Sander. And the fortunes of Ohio State's season rest on the right leg of Mike Nugent. Will the dream for Ohio State continue? Will they have a chance to possibly defend their national championship? Comes down to this kick from 41. It is blocked! Purdue blocked it. Sean Phillips scoops it up and returns it to the 30-yard line. We'll go to overtime.
Unbelievable. Whatever they need him to do, he does.
So it's overtime at Ohio State. Kyle Orton will get another chance. Looked like the block came from number 39. Iwichukwu, I think. The snap was a little bit low. And way up in the air was number 39 to save the day for Purdue, at least momentarily. End of regulation. We're tied at 13. Ohio State had a chance, the final play, to end this game in regulation. It didn't work out that way. Purdue had some other thoughts. And we're ready to start overtime as the captains will come back out as they did about 3.5 hours ago and do it again. Boy, a long day at the office, and still the handshakes and the smiles, and now we've got some extra football.
We're going to toss. Winner gets choice of offense, defense, or which end you want to play on, okay? You guys get the call again? Yeah. What do you want?
Tail.
We're using my coin this time with a regular head and the tail, okay?
You're killing me now.
Okay. Head or tail?
Tail.
He wants tail? It is a tail.
We want to start on defense.
You want to be defense?
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? Some you want to play? You want to play at that end? Please place that direction.
All right, fellas.
So Ohio State will have it offensively first, as you heard. Kudavides call. Again, a look at the blocked field goal, Bob.
Watch Iwichukwu right here. He's the guy that's going to come forward and jump as high as he can. Now watch what happens when the offensive linemen hit him. They push him up right here. Look at this. They help him hang in the air. Well, Iwichukwu blocks it, but he got a little help from the offense.
That was the low snap.
Not the best of snaps.
Sander got it down, though, and Orton's reaction, knowing he'll get another chance. And on the other side, a game that could have ended in regulation, Coach Tressel knows that that one got away. The game still hasn't completely. Both teams get to touch it in overtime. We'll give you the overtime rules after this snap. Krenzel back to throw, and he's going to be sacked on the first play of overtime. Starting at the opponent. Yep. So now backed up to the 29, though. Purdue showing blitz. Krenzel will run with it. He's not going to get much. He might not even get back to the original line of scrimmage. He won't. So it's going to be a third down and about 11 or 12.
Out here.
Krenzel threw a touchdown in all 3 of those overtimes against NC State.
Single coverage.
3rd and 11. Got his man, but Jenkins all wrapped up by Reeves. Won't get to the first down marker. So now we'll see Mike Nugent again.
Yeah, that's putting a lot of confidence in that corner out there to tackle. Stronger. Yeah, he didn't start off here, though. He started off at Butler.
Yeah.
As a transfer. Walked on to Purdue and has done big things ever since he got to Purdue.
Well, he's being asked to do a big thing here to keep this game alive for another overtime. 37-yard field goal attempts out of a Kyle Smith hold. Trying to make it 16-16. Snaps a little wide. The kick is wide left. Ohio State wins it in overtime. They survive another one. The Buckeyes' dream is still alive. The hopes for an upset for the first time in 15 years here in Columbus have just faded to black for the Boilermakers. What a game.
It's unfair.
I know what you're going to say, that anybody has to lose this one.
It's unfair that anybody has to lose, and it comes down to a field goal kicker.
Let's check in with Lynn.
Thank you, Bob and Brad. Coach,
You won your share of tight ones, but this one, all special teams, great defense, a lot of heart and guts.
Yeah, it really was. You know, if you look at the scoreboard there at 16-13, 4 yards difference in total offense. Special teams were extraordinary, kicking them down in. Mike made the long 52-yarder, which was huge. You know, we got great kids, they got great coaches, they work at it, and they never give up. And how about our crowd?
Well, the fans were great. You know, you play a lot of football games. They talk about the 3 phases of football: offense, defense, and special teams. It seemed today that both offense and defense set up all your special teams, but your punter might have been the key to the whole ball game.
Well, B.J. Sanders has been the key all year long. The way he's been dropping them in the corner and putting people in tough situation. And, you know, we win as a team, and all those guys are special.
Well, great job. Terrific game here, and you made your own luck, Coach.
Well, thanks, Lynn. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Brad?
Final score again, 16-13 in overtime. For Bob and Lynn and the rest of the crew, Brad Nessler saying so long from the Horseshoe.